Fort Sumner. Sumner. I always like to add a T. Sumner. Fort Sumner. Something different today. Today we're going to learn about Billy the Kid. Probably have to cross the street here. So I called him, asked him about how would you like to have semi-parked. So you just make so that you don't block the entrances. Come on, give me no grief today. Right up against that. And there we go.
Home. Messaging. You have 5 hours and 57 minutes of remaining drive time.
Alright, let's go in, learn about Billy the Kid. Alright, we're inside.
How are you?
I just had a nice talk
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
with the curator of this place.
Yeah. Yeah, he came through the other day, like Sunday morning or something. Yeah. It's kind of a cute little book, I guess. It's fiction, but, you know.
It turned out that he worked on the railroad. 1909, cash register. Look how simple they are. I guess the top part's a lockbox. Probably keep the receipts up there. Old German Stein. Old kazoo. Look how old that thing is. I would say probably about 50s. I don't know what this thing is in the middle. It looks like a compass. But I don't know, something way different about that. The picture of Billy the Kid that everybody knows. And we got bullet tips, muskets. A couple pins. Items found at the site of Old Fort Sumner. I'll give it a pause right here. Give it a little lengthy pause. That way, if you want, you can pause the video, try to read all that. I didn't realize they had a British style hat in that time still. I mean, in like at movies and stuff, you expect to see that. Let me get some more officer buttons. Sash. Oh. That's a big set of horns, by the way. Let's see if I can put my hand right in there. See that? Yeah, we're looking at a painting, Lucian Maxwell. Age has not been kind to that painting. belonged to Maria La Luz Fabian Maxwell. I'm pretty sure I just murdered half her name. Billy the Kid's little quick autobiography. Billy and his pals. Charlie Beaudry on the left, and Tom O'Falliard on the right. Of course, Billy's in the middle. Tom got killed. He captured Billy the Kid. And is being transported to Las Vegas, New Mexico. Remember, Las Vegas, New Mexico. Not Nevada, New Mexico. It's still there. I've been through there a few times. In fact, there's a, looks like there's a large church there that I would like to go visit. Dream centrifuge. I thought it was a Dutch oven, to be honest.
Blanket and his two sons were in the military. Edwin took command of the 7th Cavalry after Custer troops left out. Samuel took the 6th Cavalry. This is Maxwell, Lucian Maxwell Fanning. Granddaughter had it in the storeroom, didn't want to read the damage. And this is a picture of Elavina. She was going to cook Billy some supper. She picked up the kitchen knife and was going to go in and get off the porch.
That rifle that's in there is probably a replica.
Yeah.
Kind of fascinating to see how it's set up with the saddle.
This picture is Billy when he was in school in Silver City. He gave this picture to a school teacher, really liked her, and it came down through the family. And James Feast now has that. And he shared this information. This is a copy of it. 30 some years ago, I paid $7,500 for that kitchen.
Dutch ovens.
Karen didn't get it done for 10. Coming in El Paso.
So they have these lids like these so that
Well, they might,
you can actually put the coals on top.
I think it's
Use a hook, just lift it up and over. Gives it even kirk all around.
$1,500 items, and the knife was included. He was a big collector.
Oh, and the whole collection. So
And the coke from Coke industry, I think, bought it. Everything's quiet when, he don't let you know anything.
right.
You know, all William Bonney.
See, here's a senior class in 1930 that did that.
Yeah, there it is in 1950.
Yeah. And we got this croquet kid picture for the dog.
Yeah, this is that new one that just came out kind of recently.
Jim This guy couldn't get in there to look at it. Somebody gets in here and says, that's old Beaudry, and tell me why he wears his hat. Nobody wears his hat like that.
All particular like that.
Yeah. And the Sherlock family, Sally Chisholm, Thomas Davis, Willie Casey, Casey and Tracy, Doc Sherlock.
This is Doc Sherlock.
Now, here's Sue Silva died May 30th, 41. Well, just a few weeks before that, my dad took me down to Joe Spitton's house. And he was in the living room, he had been fine. But this is what he said. Tilly walked over to the Maxwell house and entered Maxwell's living. A moment later, there was a gunshot from our right store that was written in our car. We named really glad and forward all in the house. And the gun and the other people dead. And Maxwell was there run out of Lincoln for that minute. Bill was supposed to have him remove his brother to the partner shop nearby where he was somebody on the partner place. It was arrested for burial. Silver was fine at the end. When we were going back to the house, my dad said, you know, he was fine. I said, well, Rick,
Head out there in a second.
37 years ago.
Nobody expects mobile
and
safe.
The Millers had good stuff. Not one of the carton stores. They wouldn't put price on it. I was thinking $5 or $10 to buy it.
Get you guys zoomed in for a telephone switchboard.
Wash stand that had bullet in, so his second shot, hit the fire, went through the wash stand, and you had the carton switch.
Telephone right there.
$120,000. See, I was always a little short.
Yeah.
Barbershop blades.
He escaped from Lincoln, killing the two deputies, the kid. Garrett wrote in 2 different times when he did, could have killed that very quiet.
Yeah, that's something I didn't realize that after he escaped, you know, he was out, he escaped what, April 28th from jail, but then he was back here in Fort Sumner. Sounds like maybe he was kind of hiding out.
Oh, so many choices.
Seemed like he was
Let's head this way. This old lamp. That's it's an oil lamp. An old scale. Directional lamps. Got some crafty wine bottle there. Gas on toy store stove. Now I'm pretty sure by toy they probably just mean that it's just really small. Possibly not a toy, but you never know. I mean, children back then probably played with cast iron toys. We got arrowheads. Various arrowheads. See if we can get down here. Here's some bills I was looking for.
My dad and his brothers and friends.
Looks like I got quite a collection. Oh, this is candy dishes. I was gonna say gravy pot. I'm not sure what the little tools were for. Unless they were just like an arts and craft thing. Yeah, camera's light. Again. Old piano. The Barber collection of the soldiers of Fort Sumner. All these old clocks. Couple fossils. Alright, before we visit the guns.
It's still in really good condition.
I like the Trujillos. Trujillo lives up on the hill there. And he told me, said,
Check over here.
we would be real good.
I'm looking at pottery.
There's Michael, the money from.
Very old modern pestle. Euclid. Some old-time locks. Oh, that's an old war helmet right there. That might be World War One. The soldiers were incredibly small back then.
What was that just like?
Oh, that's a boy's outfit. No, wait. It's tiny. Of course, they didn't have the child labor laws back then. Looks to me like, if I'm reading this right, that's Butch Cassidy's pistol. Now, just so that everyone is aware, that's a little saxophone. Billy the Kid is buried about 5 miles from where I'm standing. Now, I can't go out there because of my vehicle. If you come through here with a car, you might be able to go out there and visit the grave. Some old Marlins. That was actually the very first gun that I got, 22 Marlin. I still have it. Old Springfield. Top one I would like. Colt 36 caliber Navy revolver. I've always have had a love for the Colt Navies. Always had a love for the Colt Navy.
What's in that museum in town? Man, you might be just go over to some guns. Yeah, that's what I told him. I said it's not just about building a kid. There's a lot of
Shotgun, double barrel shotgun.
Yeah.
Along with CJ Rhodes.
Where the lights come off the railroad track. And they, Jim Hayes' wife was running concrete here. And this little boy come in, their little bit, and that's right there, boy, and
Keys.
man, I'm gonna have to redo that. You just messed it up. My dad happened to be standing there, and I just walked up with a couple of more. And Dad said, no, I want to look just like that. Let's look. This is Kitty Roots.
Long lanterns.
Man, now, you may be too educated to read this.
No, I don't know.
And being used since 1912. Now, he was a cowboy, never went to school.
I don't, man.
He used to come by our secondhand store in town. Why don't you be at that 7 paragraph, exactly like the two that we
All right. Coming to the gun room. Sawed-off shotgun. Captain Ball muzzle loading. Full-size one, it's just loaded. Actually, that second sawed-off, boy, that's even smaller. Honestly, if I'd gone top to down, that would you'd actually see more of the evolution. Because we got, we still got the flint up here, and then they come out with the cartridge. We finally created the self-containing cartridge, and old pocket watches, a couple more locks, manacles. Oh, those look like they would be uncomfortable. There was another Marlin there. Cannonballs. Cannon mortar. Ooh, look at this one. Stetson rifle. Look at the detail. That's that's just something from the culture. I almost thought it looked like Alice in Wonderland. The stock is engraved up front. Cavalry sword. Okay. Look up here on the very top. There's weird flintlock, but look at this. That gun is seriously like 4 feet long. That is huge. I bet you probably weighs like 50 pounds.
That little shadow box started taking some of the stuff that people leave on the radio. Just something, try to put it in a little display case, somebody's going to show off some of that. Well, I appreciate you showing me around.
Heavy knife. I bet you some of these guys would be fun to shoot. Granted, they don't blow up in your face. I think a whole lot of cleaning would have to be in order to before you even think about firing them. Now some of these other guys, like this one is 22 blue jacket. You used to have the overcoats that had like a little bit of extra room. These are the guns that you see in movies all the time that like spring out and they fire. Like that little four barrel one. That's actually on a TV show that I'm watching right now. That Hell on Wheels. Now, I'm going to come back on that. That little 4 barrel, you actually fire all 4 chambers at once. You know, it's not like you keep clicking it or anything. It fires them all because 4 bullets have a better chance of doing damage than 1. It's like holding a mini shotgun. Cavalry swords. Bandolier. Some fascinating leggings. So walk around with the chaps who walk around looking like a Sasquatch. Alright, one more thing in here. That's right here up in the middle. This is Billy the Kid's pistol. Cavalry Soldier John's. Oh, according to this is a Billy Kid's rifle. Mr. Maxwell's money trunk. His rifle's in much better shape than everything else in here. Buffalo spears. Okay. So one of the things about this place is that it's not all Billy the Kid. They have a lot of other things too. Aluminum nameplates. Okay, here we got saddles. It's nice and cool out here. Child's casket from the 1900s. Undertaker's bag. Metal kitchen cabinet. I wonder what the handle was for. Now I saw one of these back in the other room, but there was like another thing sitting on top of it. And I was wondering, why don't we have a chair with what looks like coat hangers? And this was probably meant for the mud room. You come in, you hang up your coat, but when you're getting ready to leave, right, you sit down, you put on your boots, but you're going to stay in the entrance of the home, and you get up and you put your coat on, you look at yourself. I know these are butter churns. Let's go over here. This almost looks like it was maybe like the 50s or 60s. Hey, look, GoPro. It's your great granddaddy's. The predecessors of your time. You know, that thing is actually really not that big, but I bet you it's really massively heavy. I mean, we had a typewriter back in my family, back in the 80s. It was actually a fairly recent typewriter. It was big though. I just remember it being really heavy. You know, these over here, these are cast iron. All the milk bottles when milk used to get delivered to your front door. A couple of toy cars and stuff down there. I don't remember this part of Billy the Kid's life. Of course, then again, we did have the documentary about Lincoln, the vampire slayer. Well, who knows? I mean, I guess vampires were more of a big thing in the Wild West than we're led to believe. Some old train equipment. Like I said, the shop owner, gentleman who passed me a few times, was leading somebody else around. He was explaining to me that he worked on the rail yard, worked for the railroad for 31 years. He showed me the areas that he directed. He explained that a lot of the tracks that came through here, there were these dark spots, meaning no signals. So he had to do a handwritten note explaining when the train was allowed to leave, like a certain spot. That way they don't meet. An old grind wheel. You need to sharpen your blades. It's only half of one though. Yeah. There's supposed to be a pedal on it. You work that pedal and it keeps spinning the grind wheel. These are old farming plows. Except for that, that's the wheelchair. In fact, it looks like the wheelchair from Red Dragon. I have become the creature. Do you see? Yes, yes, I see. There's another one of them old safes. God, those things must be a pain to get into. Look at their mobile scale. Oh, what caught my eye was this. See, when I was looking at this, I thought this was all like one piece. And I was like, what is that thing, like a mace or something? Actually, it'd be a flail. Old wood stoves. Old wood stoves. This one here, this is like a single log. It's a kind of John Deere setup. I'm not sure what it does exactly. Yeah, keep it going. We're down to 35% my battery. What the hell is... You got enough tires? This is weird. So it's a trike. Yeah, it's like a trike. There's one rear view mirror. It just looks weird. It's hooked up to this little wagon. A little dark on this side. Let's head over here. It looks like it's just a frame. Frame for a wagon. Couple more Dutch ovens. So we got a casket, we got big old pots. Make those giant stews. Family suburban. Parents sit up front, two kids. They all get a rope to hold on to. They hadn't invented the seatbelt yet. Hold on to a rope. You know, it's funny when you see stagecoaches in movie. I don't know, for some reason they look bigger than they do in real life. I mean, let's see, this camera's at the top of my head here. Put this in. You see how like I'm like almost next to it. The predecessor of the hearse with another child coffin. Put your kid on display. But yeah, I mean, all of the old wagons that I've seen, they're really not that big. Not a long one. This is just one for going around town. For the slightly fancier people. And again, here's another version of a suburban. Get a couple more. This is more of the version of my semi. The predecessor of trucking right there. Okay, what do we got over here? We have a tombstone. I wonder what the purpose of this was. What I'm looking at, you got the tractor, everything's symmetrical, right? Except for this one wheel that's way the heck over to one side. I wonder why that's like that. It'd be fascinating to find out the reason behind it. This looks like a seed layer. You sit up there, the horses are mounted up front, and as you're going along, tire moves, chain cranks, spins a couple gears, drops the seeds down as it's plowing. So you would have a trench, the seed drops in, those two wheels move dirt in and cover it. This is a replica of Billy the Kid. Of his grave that's about 5 miles from us. And we got pepper tate. Salty with A. Old jail cell. Reminds me of the ones back at the state pen. A couple more wagons. Got some blacksmithing. I thought there was a window here. The old anvil. That's for bending bars. That's an old press for bending bars. I've actually used the more modern version. Same thing though. It's kind of fascinating to look at. This is this looks like what you would see in a standard house. Now you gotta remember back then, I mean, like, their house was the size of like a studio apartment. It was basically 4 walls. It didn't have multiple bedrooms or anything. So I mean, this really is pretty much what you would see. You got the bed, you got the kitchen, you got the dining room. Biscuit pan up there on the wall. Looks like a sewing machine on the far end. That's one of those steel or iron cabinets that they were talking about. We liked that earlier. John outrun a couple that's behind me. More cars to look at. You know I love my cars. There's some 1970 Ford. Now, don't believe that that's the original placement of the battery. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the batteries went under the seats. (1952) Willys Aerolark. I don't think I really knew that Willie made cars. There's some stats on it. You can pause the video again. Yeah, we're coming up towards the end of my video here because I'm getting low on battery. (1923) Chevrolet touring car. Let's come back over here and look at this guy. Look at that big, huge window. (1954) Kaiser Manhattan. Let me extend you guys out, see if I can get you guys close to the inside. Imagine what it must take to find a hubcap for this thing. Because I mean that's a special hubcap for this car. Considering this is the first time I've ever seen a car that even looks like this. Oh, this one's kind of cool. This guy back here, is this here's a dresser for sale, $500. 53 Studebaker Champion back here in the back. kind of like this one here. The old-timer definition of a multi-tool. I wonder if these are just pictures of cars that he's owned. And it looks like we'll finish it up with a motorcycle. So it is $5 for adults to come in here and see this. I didn't see anything for kids. This is just the gift shop. Get the coffee mug with your name on it. Get some Route 66 stuff. You asked for half a cup of coffee. Yeah. I'm gonna come over here. It looks like we got the usual state-sponsored stuff. I've actually got one of these. I picked one up in Arizona when I was like a kid. It's still somewhere. I still have it. Let me see if they have a book around here. What is this? What are these things? It's like a Lego bug set. Ask and you shall receive. I'll probably pick up a book. I always like to read. Something to do when you're sitting in the dark for hours on out. Right? Well, I think that's about it. I'll go ahead and put in the address for this place in the description in case you ever happen to find yourself traveling along US 84. You can make a stop on by here. So that's it. I will talk to you guys later.